humanoid robot housekeeper.
Thank you, Neo.
For $20,000, you can pre-order 1X's Neo robot now, with delivery in 2026.
I think you missed a tiny spot over here.
Just one little catch. There may be a human behind the curtain.
There's this lofty promise that AI data centers are going to create thousands and thousands of jobs. Meantime, AI is destroying jobs elsewhere. Yeah. And I feel like even, there's serious anxiety out there. People are scared.
Totally.
Even among the best engineers and technologists, people are scared. What do you say to those people?
AI is for sure going to change a lot of jobs, totally take some jobs away.
Host Rhonda Kay, and I want to share a little bit about what this channel is all about. If you've just tuned in or if you've never seen any of my videos, then I talk a lot about all things tech. I got on the internet in 1998 and I never got off, and that is almost literally true because I found the internet and I found all this stuff you could do. There was free training. I taught myself to build websites, and then my company found out that I could build websites, and they found out me and a few colleagues were tinkering with building or creating an internal website or an intranet. That is a website that lives inside your own network and it doesn't go outside of the building, but only the people in the building can access it. And we built it because I was creating a lot of training and I was tired of printing and emailing the documents. So I said, I need one location to put all of this training. And I have seen a lot of amazing changes in technology. And when you had a cell phone, you had to be wise and use those minutes wisely as well. And if you didn't have a cell phone, if you had to make a phone call, you had to stop and find a payphone. And good luck to you if it was night or if you were in some rural area. You just had to wait until you got wherever you were going. And then soon, fast forward, everybody had cell phones, including toddlers. Plus, they use these tablets, not just the cell phone, but the tablets. But all of that is by design. Because think about it. If you have millions of individuals, each carrying a little device like this, then you are tracking everybody. You know where they are. And all you need is for them to hit a signal. And that's what these cell towers are doing. Our world has been changing right before our very eyes, and we have not been paying attention. And I'm here to help you pay attention to that. I want to help people who may have slipped through the cracks. Maybe your job didn't require you to use a lot of technology, but now this world is changing and you need to use technology. I had a friend who said her niece or someone she knew would not hire a person that was over 50 or whatever the age is, it considered that people are non-technical. So I want to be there for those people to help them to get caught up so that they can be on an even playing field. My 80-year-old aunt has TikTok. She can text. She knows how to use smart TVs and all of that stuff. So you can learn to use technology because now they're making people on Social Security. If they don't have direct deposit, now is the time to get it because they're going to stop sending paper checks. And that makes sense, but to a lot of them, it doesn't make sense. They think the government is being cruel. But what's cruel is creating technology and not providing a way out or a transition to make it easier. I work with a lot of streaming television, and I was at a festival at having my own booth, and one of the people came by and said, hey, please, would you make it easier for us? All this stuff is confusing. And I get it because you literally need a brief education on how to watch TV today. Back in our time, when we were kids, we had one TV, the family sat in front of it, and a few main stations. We had UHF and VHF. Those were the signals that determined the quality of viewing you would get, the VHF being the better quality viewing. And so now we live in a world where we're past the 500 cable stations. Forget about that. what about everybody has an app? And so speaking of app, you can find the Rhonda K Show on ubexmedia.net. You can download the app from there, the Roku app. Right now, I'm only on Roku, and hopefully I will be on Amazon soon. In these, I will be promoting some of the shows. I got a few documentaries coming out. I want you to stay tuned for that. And that's really exciting. But this is my passion. One of the reasons that I want to train people on technology is because I want them to be able to watch my shows. And a lot of people my age and above, they like watching TV. They want to be able to flip the channels with a remote. Well, you can't do that with the TV that we have today, which is streaming television. But I want to make that transition easy to navigate for those of you who have not gotten on board. I'm going to share some tips and tricks. And you can also ask me questions, and I'll make videos based on the questions you ask. In fact, I want to know, has AI changed your job? I know AI has changed mine. It's even phased out some of the contracts that I used to be able to get. I actually quit my job during COVID to start doing media productions again, and I do not regret that. I learned a lot at a lot of my previous positions. The last job that I had, a lot of the skills that I learned, I had to learn by trial and by fire, and I was very appreciative of that because a lot of companies don't give you the opportunity to learn. And it's not that they don't give you. This particular job, they needed certain things, and if you didn't have that information, they allowed you to figure it out the best way you could and come back with a solution. And so that's the way you learn things. That's not a bad thing if a company doesn't have something. That just shows there's a need that you could potentially fulfill, and then they get the benefit of having something new that they can be proud of, and you get the benefit of saying, hey, look what I did. And you get to take that. No one can take that knowledge from you. And so with that, I want to talk to you about what AI is. I want to talk to you about some of the new technologies in AI, and then share my opinion on where I think it's going. Okay, so in today's webinar, we're going to get started with a video I created some time back on 3 easy steps to showing you how you can optimize your website pages. SEO starts with traditional SEO, or the basic foundations of SEO that you'll learn in this video. And then followed by that, I'm going to show you how to extend that even further and rank your website for the AI algorithm. Okay, here we go. Let's get started. If you own a website, it should be making you money. SEO can help. Everything I'm going to tell you today, you can find in a free download, Insider Secrets to Google Page 1 Results. It'll be available to you as an immediate download. 3 easy steps you can begin following today. Now, step 1, you're going to learn how to optimize your page titles. In step 2, you're going to learn how to optimize your page content. And step 3, you're going to learn how to do technical SEO. That is, optimize your code. Now, what is SEO? I'm going to read you my definition of SEO, and that is SEO, or search engine optimization, is the practice of making sure your website pages match whenever someone does a search online. So what happens is, I'm going to read you another excerpt from the book. When a person does a search online, they are looking for something specific. Results that are most relevant to that search show up at the top. So the most relevant results show up when your pages are optimized, and it starts with your titles. Let's look at that. So you're going to optimize all of your titles, and here is what your titles will look like on the page. If you've ever used Word, Microsoft Word, then you've made titles and or subtitles, and there are headings or levels, and they label them as H1, H2, H3, and there are 6 of them. They get smaller, and they may even be different fonts. They don't have to be, but just remember the different levels, H1 through H6, and notice how they get smaller. So I'm going to use as an example, this is fictional, just bear with me and humor me if you will, how to bake a chocolate cake. That is my main title, my H1 title. That's what you would want your page title to be. And then if I have a subtitle, it's going to be an H2 title. That is the 7th step to the perfect chocolate cake. And then you're going to have H3 titles, and I'm going to show you what this looks like in a moment. Your H3 title might be the ingredients. You might have step 1, which is also an H3 title. You might have step 2 or any other page sections that would be separated and that would have a title to tell you what that content is about, that supports more what this page is all about. Okay, let's take a look at how that would look. Okay, optimizing your content. So I like to use as a good practice, in the very first paragraph, I want to summarize my page. For example, after I have my main title, How to Bake a Chocolate Cake, and my subtitle, 7 Steps to Baking the Perfect Chocolate Cake, then I'm going to use my keyword phrases, bake chocolate cake, as follows. As an experienced baker, people always ask me how I am able to consistently bake a delicious and moist chocolate cake every time. So it uses those key phrases and it further tells what the page is about. Now, here is secret number 1. No matter what your page is about, if you will list as a description in the very first paragraph, summarize all of your page content, then if you do nothing else other than a good title and a subtitle and the rest of your content, Google will automatically pick up information from the very first paragraph. This is the secret that I discovered by trial and error. Now, notice I have an image, and if I'm going to have an image on this page, the image is going to be labeled as well. I also have a logo on this page, so the images must be labeled as, for instance, this is a chocolate cake. It's a photo of a chocolate cake, so I would name that image before I uploaded the file name, photo of chocolate cake, or slice of chocolate cake.jpg. And then in the logo, it would say Delightful Desserts logo. So to recap, in step 1, you optimize your page titles. In step 2, you're going to optimize your content. So that means all of the content on your page is going to support how to bake a chocolate cake. You might have ingredients, you might have different processes and steps that you want to include. So those steps have descriptions underneath it. You may even have a video on the page. And if you have a video on the page, that is going to help as well. Now, step 1 is the titles. Step 2 is the content. Once you've optimized your content, and let me say, every piece of content, whatever kind of content it is, you want to make sure that it supports what your page is all about, because remember, Google is looking for the most relevant page, and those are the pages that show up at the top. So now we're going to step 3. Now, if you need to, you can get with your web developer. If you use some kind of website builder or website platform, for instance, the Leezy platform, which is my platform at leezy.net, then this is done automatically for you. The code is automatically optimized in the background. Find out if you use one of those platforms, find out if there is a tool that's already built in for you. If not, then you would need to get your website developer, work with them to optimize the code. And the way they would optimize the code is they would optimize what we call the HTML tags. And here is a sample. For instance, the title would say, it would match the how to bake a chocolate cake, where it says this is my page title. Then there is a meta tag, and in it is the description of the page. Now, by default, here's another secret. Google will pick up the very first portion of your web page, some of the text. So that's why I said put the description of your page, a summary, in the very first paragraph, and Google will pick up some of that text and use it as the description automatically. Even if you don't do any SEO, that is what Google currently does. Now, your meta description should be between 150 and 165 characters. Okay? Next, you are going to tell the robots to index your page and to follow any links. You have your H1, which is a tag that describes your headline, and you might also have an H2, and it would be the subtitle, and then you would have the paragraph. If you have any links, then you would also want to add a title to those links. Then you also, in your images, you want to make sure that there is what's called alt text, ALT. And if you are using a website builder, then you can enter the alt text inside the dashboard whenever you upload a photo. And that is pretty much all there is to optimizing your website. It is easy as 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to take a look at some results. For I Want Desserts, and I live in Dallas. Okay, my result, this is me, is the very first result. This is the first result out of 18.8 million results. Okay, now let's take a look at another result. I'm going to look up homemade, let's do homemade restaurant. Homemade restaurant. The name of the website for that same result is homemadecooking.net, and usually people will search for you by your name, but that is only the people who know who you are. Okay, so we learned about traditional SEO and how you can easily rank. And I say easy, the work is actually easy. It just takes a little bit of time, your time or someone from your staff's time, and then the time on the calendar. It usually takes between 3 and 6 months to actually see your pages begin to rank. And you can use website tools like Ahrefs, and I'll put some links somewhere. Most likely these are going to be on my website. I'm not going to try to post them on the videos because then I won't remember which video I posted them on. So I'll have like an SEO page that I'll link in every video, and that way you can go to one page or remember one place to go anytime I make an update. And so you want to make sure with those headings, one thing I didn't mention is that you want to organize, use the H1 tags to organize your pages. That is, you'll have one main title, which is an H1, that's the largest title, that contains your keyword. You'll have a subtitle that might be in the banner, underneath the main title, and then you'll have the heading 3. It just really all just depends on how your page is laid out or designed. Now you want to have multiple H3s. So for instance, if you were taking that same baking a chocolate cake page, then you would have chocolate cake ingredients, and then you would have a paragraph or 3 paragraphs about the ingredients, and you'll want to talk about them in detail, maybe have some pictures of those ingredients, and then another H3 title where you talk about mixing and how you would mix it, another title where you would talk about the oven you use, why you use it, whether you use electric or gas. And as you can see, you're building and you're organizing it in a way for skimmers. So that way, if somebody's skimming the page and maybe all they need to know is what kind of oven or the temperature, and you've got your page organized in such a fashion where they can skim the page and see, oh, here's a quick little title that says, okay, preparation time or prep materials needed. And you don't have them wasting a lot of time. Or for people who need every step, you have every step 1 through 7 listed. And when you have all of your details, then that makes your page really strong. You also want to take the time to compare your pages against others. Now, how do you get it to rank in Google AI and show up there organically? Well, what you do is you extend it a little bit further. Maybe you'll want to put some frequently asked questions. I asked ChatGPT, how do I rank for AI when I do my SEO? And so it gave me a few more things to do, which is add some frequently asked questions, Q&A style. What do people commonly ask you? You can use that as a frequently asked question, and have at least 4 to 5, so that, and when you answer them, don't use 1 or 2 liners, use 3 or 4 sentences to answer the question. And be sure to insert some of the keywords naturally. Don't make it up. Like, don't force it to fit. Just talk naturally using the terms that people might search for to find that page. And then lastly, you'll want to do, Google gave me, and I'm not looking at my notes, I'm going from memory, so that's really bold. You want to use schema. Google has a schema that you can use, and you can go to Google and look up Google schema and the rules for that. And it even has where you can copy and paste that schema and insert your information. And what it does is it helps your Google listing. Remember, we talked about having a Google listing, or maybe we didn't in this video, but you're going to need a Google business page so that your business can be found. Now, can you rank without a Google business page? You most certainly can, but you may not stay at the top, and you may not always be at the top. You may be at the top sometimes and not all the time, because other people are constantly optimizing their pages, and then they may overrank you, especially if the algorithm is favoring them because, and I'll give you an example on the algorithm. At one point, there were over 220 items of things that needed to be done in order to satisfy the search engines. Now, it's almost impossible to do all of that stuff, but if you did, Google was going to favor your page. And so I was going somewhere with that, but lost my thought. But just trust me, you'll want to make sure you can put as much, the more you can do to your website within reason. You don't have to do everything, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and I'm a witness of that. Then the more Google will favor your page. The last thing I want to tell you about that is to get links from, it used to be called Web 2.0, but we don't use that term anymore. But Web 2.0 is social media websites, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, any other site that you can link to. A professional directory, the Better Business Bureau, or D&B website. And what they allow you to do is put your website link Now, if you do everything that I told you in this video, then you will have learned a crash course, a complete crash course on website SEO. And you will begin to rank not just in the page listings, you'll rank for Google because you're going to optimize your Google business page. And if you need help with that, ask me or ask your website person for help with that. The other thing, one other important thing is you want to make sure that you don't have wrong information out there. There are business directories that can access data banks and put your business name in their business directory and make up information for like your website, your phone number, your email, and that will count against you. That will cause confusion. And when I say count against you, it might not be Google that count against you, but it might be a customer that you lose because the website address is wrong. So if you do a Google search on your business and you find that it's listed in Buku magazine or some website that you know you didn't put that listing out there, then you go and make sure to delete it. Now, if it's one you want to keep like Yelp or someone like that, then you can claim the listing. A lot of them will do that so that you can claim your listing, but they do that so that they can fill their website up with businesses that people can go and write reviews about. They get paid because people use their website to find businesses that do certain things, and then they make their money from advertising because people are using it, or whatever other business model that they have because people are using it. And people love to use Yelp, but I like to say that Yelp is not going to always be right. 9 times out of 10, when you find a business on Yelp, most of the time, especially if it's a small business, that business is not going to know that they have that Yelp listing, and they're not interacting with Yelp. But I'm telling you, as a small business owner, go out and check your business name, see what sites that you may be linked to or listed in, and remove them or update that information. And that's all the information that I want to share with you today. We'll keep talking about other AI things. Will AI take jobs? Yes, it will. Will AI create other jobs? Yes, it will. But there will be far more jobs impacted than there are created. There are jobs that are created today, a lot of jobs that are being created because of the data centers. But what happens to those jobs after those data centers are built in 3 years? So people will work and they'll have a good job for a 3-year period of time, but you'll need to be prepared for what are you going to do after that time period is up. That's just something I want you guys to think about. Tell me how you have made the pivot in this day of AI and technology, and how you may need help with your pivot. If you need any ideas, I'm here for you to give you ideas or help you to think through ideas. Put them in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you then.